Hi, I'm Katie with Modern Textiles, and today we're going to go over how to plan and add quilt borders to your quilt top. So you may be wondering, why do I need to plan to add borders? I've got to say, this is one of the top questions I get as a quilter, is how to make your quilts that you made from a pattern bigger. And maybe you don't have enough fabric to make more quilt blocks. Maybe it's not called out in the pattern to add borders, but you just want maybe 4 to 8 to 12 inches more of length, width, just to fit your bed properly, or for whatever purpose you're using it a little bit better. So the first things first, you're going to want to know, what is your current finished quilt top? So that might just be the blocks fully assembled. You're going to want to measure that. That is critical. One of the errors I always see whenever I get a quilt in is that you go off of whatever the finished dimension of the quilt top is from the pattern booklet. I would love if all of our quilts turned out that perfectly precise dimension, but it's just not the case. Our seam allowances might be a hair off. Just the way the world works, it is rare that a quilt top is perfectly the exact dimension once you're completed with it when it's compared to that quilt pattern. So always, I lay it flat. For me, I have a massive long arm that I lay it across the bars, and I measure each edge as well as the center. And typically I average out the 3 of those. Unless it's way off, then I might have to do a little magic. But for this scenario, I'm just ballparking that you're going to be pretty close to within a ½ inch from left to right of your borders as well as top to bottom. So take your 3 dimensions. Your left, I always start my side borders. This is my preference. So when I'm planning, I always add my side borders first, and then I add my top and my bottom border. I've got just a scrap piece of flannel. This is measured 10 by 12. So what I already did is we're going to go with, let's pretend that, so 10 inches my top and 12 inches is my current length of the quilt top that I've assembled, right? So I've already cut 12-inch borders to go on this side, and I just use some old binding I have. So this is all my scraps. So if you see it's a little linty, it's just because it came from my scrap bin. So these are 2.5 inches wide, and then this is measured true to a 10-inch width and 12-inch length. So we're going to add these 2, and if you want to, you can go ahead and cut the other one. But once again, I always like to add my side borders first, press them, take measurements, and that way you know there's going to be no fullness to your borders. All right, so now I have my borders, my side borders in place. I'm going to go ahead and press these quick, and then we'll take our measurement of what to cut our next top and bottom border to. All right, so I'm just going to place this right up in the upper corner so I can see right now I've got a measurement of 14 inches for my length, and that's what I'm going to want to cut my strip to. So they're already at 2.5 inches because these are old binding pieces. I'm going to go to 14 inches. I'm going to do 2 of those. Once again, pardon the threads and lint from being stored in a basket. And you may be wondering, Katie, what's the big deal? Like, why can't I just go off of the pattern? It's because if your quilt top is larger or smaller, if it's smaller, you're going to be going off of a dimension that is longer than your actual quilt top, which then will cause fullness, which is just saying you're shortening up or kind of condensing a lot of fabric into one location, which when I get it onto a long arm, or if you lay it flat on the floor, you're going to notice a lot of rippling in the fabric or kind of bubbling up, and that's just called fullness. If you have a quilt top, say you use a scant 1/4 inch the entire time, so your quilt top is bigger, you're not going to have enough of your border to finish out that entire border. You're going to have to do some Frankenstein piecing together while it's on your machine. No one wants to do that, or break out your seam ripper. So the best thing is always just measure your true dimensions and then cut your borders to those dimensions so you have a nice flat border when you're quilting. So you're not hating yourself when you're going through the quilting process and you're kind of having some issues with maybe puckering or things like that. Now that I have these cut, I'm going to go ahead and piece these on the top and the bottom, press, and go from there. And if you're deciding to maybe split from this video right now, quick tip, I have a great calculator that helps you with all this math. I'll link it down in the show notes. You're not going to want to miss out on it, especially if you're doing just a simple quilt block. Say you're doing half square triangles only, and you're wanting to a specific size. This calculator I have gives you the layout you should do, so width times length block-wise. You depict on the size of block as well as what dimension quilt you want it to be, and you can add in borders, cornerstones, you name it. You're going to want to check it out and bookmark it for future use. All right, and just like that, we now, from a 10 by 12 finished quilt top, if you will, my little flannel piece, we now upgraded it to 14 inch by 16 inch for the entire quilt size. So once again, you can see there's no puckering, there's no ruffling of the fabric when it's laying flat. This is a lot smaller project than probably what you're working on, but just take in mind, anytime you just exponentially make something larger or multiply the length and height, you're going to have a lot more issues, so it'll turn into a bit of a snowball effect. So it's really critical that you always measure your length, 3 points, cut the average for your borders, for the two of them, and then from there, measure your width of your new quilt width, if you will, and then cut your borders to that. So that way you have a full square quilt and everything's working great. And in the next video, I'm going to explain everything about quilting pantographs.